Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1920 Underwood No.5 antique desktop typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. And your margins are located up front here. You just want to make sure they're in between these two paper fingers. So this left one is going to be set pretty close to 0, and this right margin is about 80. And the paper fingers just need to be kind of lined up with the edge there. So we're going to test those margins again. Move them a little bit, like that. Good to go. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning. It skips 1, 2, or 3 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you just flip the switch down 1 and it skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. That works good. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. And I was able to type most of the keys on the keyboard on one line because this has Elite typeface, which prints 12 characters per inch. But as you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick, so I'll type a sentence on the next line. Switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side here. Just flip it to the right, and it prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it to the left, it prints the top portion. And when you have it in the middle, you move this lever behind it. It'll lock it in the middle and it won't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. So we're going to unlock that and move the color selector to red, and we're going to print the bottom portion of the ribbon. Beautiful. Very popular typewriter, over 100 years old, and it still works perfectly fine, and it will probably last forever if you take care of it. A little bit of history on this. This was the first model that came out that was visible, which means that you could see when you're typing. You see exactly what you're typing. Before this was a blind writer from Remington, and what you would type and it would print from underneath, and then you have to feed the paper to see exactly what you type. So this revolutionized the industry and dominated the market for decades. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right here. You slip that down and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easy or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that up before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. Shift on each side and the shift lock on the right. The clear guy, hit that opposite shift button. Backspace on the top left. Works great. We're going to switch the color back to the blue side, which prints black. Tabulator, the tabs are set back here, and you just move them down like this, and you can move them anywhere on this little rack. And if you don't need to use any of these, then you can move them to the left. But now I got them set 20, 30, 40, and 50, and what happens when you hit the tab, it stops at each one of those. Very nice. Show you from the front, and it'll just go to the end if you don't have anything, like it does right there. On the right side is your ribbon ratchet and reverse. So right now all the brand new ribbons loaded on the right side, so it's pulling to the left, but if you wanted to pull to the right, you pull this out. And then you can wind it, push it in, pulls to the left, pull it out, pushes to the right. That works good. I'm gonna keep that pulling to the left. Carriage release on each side. Absolutely smooth as it gets. Almost like a brand new typewriter. 100 years old. This is the carriage release on this side, and if you pull this knob out, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You push it in, get this clicks, each one of those clicks is space, and also the same concept with this. When you flip that up, it'll disable the spacing. Flip it down, you get the clicks. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.